ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here, and welcome to some more Bitcoin news. And you might be wondering why Bitcoin and pretty much all the altcoins are totally dropping right now. So it's in a big correction at the moment, and so there are several reasons for that. First and foremost, if you haven't heard yet, I know I'm a couple days late to the show, technically, in making this video, but if you haven't heard yet, Coinbase has introduced Bitcoin Cash, so you can actually take a look at that Bitcoin Cash now on Coinbase. What is wrong with that is that it came out of nowhere, and there are now huge allegations of insider trading with Coinbase. So how did that come about? Well, Bitcoin Cash basically, I think, forked on August 1st, and Coinbase was one of the exchanges that did not go along with Bitcoin Cash at the time, and everybody really liked that decision because Bitcoin Cash is pretty much a tumor in the crypto world. Numerous events of corrections or crashes, if you will, have been caused by Bitcoin Cash, and I think in any case, if you have to name a product after a bigger product, even though it is a fork, I believe that you have a bad product. Like, if you have to name something after a better product in order to get attention to your crappy product, then you shouldn't really exist in the first place. And if you don't have the if you have the audacity to copy a name like that and not just come up with your own name, they could have named it basically anything. But when Bitcoin Cash came along, they knew that if they named it Bitcoin something or other after, of course it's going to get attention. So that is pretty much a red light in itself. Now, Coinbase was supposed to release Bitcoin Cash and be tradable on January 1st, 2018. However, on what I believe it was, Tuesday, the 19th, I believe, it showed up on Coinbase out of nowhere. There was no warning. There was no Twitter posts, no emails that were sent out. Excuse me. Previously, not even a 24-hour sort of thing. It just magically popped up on the site and caused huge problems in the few days that it was rising up to that. So we have an article here that Coinbase is halting Bitcoin Cash transactions amidst the accusations of of insider trading, and this is posted for December 20th, when it was suspended temporarily. Now it has been released. You can buy and sell, I believe, and so it's all good now. However, what happened before that is this huge increase in the price just before Coinbase accepts it. So what happened is a lot of people assume that some Coinbase employees spoke up about this, and that caused a few, or even just one person to buy a ton of Bitcoin Cash and then put it up on GDAX. And one big problem is that they put it on, and all the prices, so you could buy into Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase, but you could not sell it. So that means the price was going up and up and up and up. At one point, it got to $9,000. So that means that some people, some poor guy or woman, I suppose, poor person, put $9,000 or bought Bitcoin Cash at $9,000, and now it is nowhere near that. So everybody that bought in at $3,500 or more, they just lost out. They thought that it was going to be exploding, but really it was just a show. And some things were pretty messed up about that. So there's huge accusations of that, and the CEO of Coinbase is investigating it and wants to fire or press charges against any kind of employees. But I really don't think that's good enough. It's too late, and Coinbase's reputation has been tarnished. However, I'm going to continue using Coinbase. I don't really have too much of a problem with Coinbase's functionality. However, this was a big blow to the crypto world. I think it will, of course, recover, but a big temporary blow. So this Bitcoin Cash comes out of nowhere on Coinbase. Obviously, people knew about it before that, and then they stopped sales of all kinds, so you can buy into Bitcoin Cash, but you cannot sell it, and that creates a huge problem in a market. If you could only buy and not sell, of course the price is going to rise to $9,000+. And then when it gets fixed and you can sell it, all those people that bought in at 9,000, if they don't sell pretty much on the millisecond, they lost potentially a lot of money. In some good news in the crypto world, Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, sold all of his Litecoin, stating that it was a conflict of interest. So he got rid of all of it, so nobody can say anymore, because on the Litecoin Reddit, sometimes whenever he makes an announcement and he says this, that, or the other thing about Litecoin on Twitter, the price goes up or goes down, and then people are furious with Charlie Lee. So Charlie Lee's a pretty good guy overall. I don't know him personally, obviously, but for the most part, he's a pretty steady guy, sticks to his word, and he's gotten in trouble a few times because he says something in advance about what's going to happen to Litecoin, and not necessarily insider trading, like, oh, the price is going to go up or down, but he says something about it, and then the price goes down, and that kind of gets him in trouble. And so some people are thinking, well, maybe all he has to do is say something good or something bad about Litecoin, just one tweet, and the price is going to go up or down, and he could make money that way. He could say something good about it, the price is going to go up, he sells. He says something bad about it, the price goes down, he buys. So he's not in it. He sold all of his Litecoin. I don't suppose we have any proof that he sold all of his Litecoin, but I kind of believe him. He's generally a pretty honest guy, and like I said, his honesty sometimes gets him in a little bit of trouble on that. So that's some Bitcoin news. Also, how about some personal news? So today I tweeted at Newegg that I had bought two 1080 Ti's from them with Bitcoin. So what had happened was I used two separate accounts because the particular card that I was going to buy was a limit one per customer. I have a really friendly neighbor, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to ship one to your house and ship one to my house, and everything will be good. So I made two separate accounts, and I bought one 1080 Ti on one 1080 Ti on the other with Bitcoin, and turns out both of my transactions were canceled, and Newegg decided to say that I can get a refund of Bitcoin because I underpaid Newegg. However, I paid the exact price that was shown on Newegg. What had happened was the particular card that I was going to buy, and you can look it up yourself, it's the GTX 1080 Ti Turbo, and it comes with a free game, and it's Destiny 2, and I really couldn't care less about Destiny 2. I have no intention of playing it. I just wanted the card because it's only like a $709 1080 Ti, and it performs just as well. It might run a little bit hotter because it's an SLI type card with a blower, with an internal blower, so it'll run a little bit warmer, but not too big of a deal. It doesn't really run particularly slower than any other 1080 Ti. So they're a pretty good deal. So what's the problem is that when you buy that with a debit card or a credit card, it doesn't actually charge you that $59.99 for that game, but it sort of does in the system, but it never actually charges your card. And the reason why it sort of does in the system is because they have to actually tell their vendor, the creator of Destiny 2. I don't know if that's, I don't even know who that is, honestly, because I don't follow the Destiny games. So that they can tell that vendor, hey, we sold one of your games, here's the receipt, here's, the purchase of that, and so Newegg has to do that as a business. So when you buy it with Bitcoin, that's not the case, and they want the full amount, but they don't actually say that they want the full amount. Really, the total is much less than buying it with the game. So they said that I gave them insufficient funds, sent them insufficient Bitcoin. So now I'm kind of in a fiasco with them. I have their accounting team on the line and stuff. I've sent them proof of purchase and whatnot. So I'm trying to get 2 gift cards now from them, so that I can buy these individual cards now. And the reason why I don't want a refund of Bitcoin is because of the downfall of Bitcoin. So one of the big problems with Bitcoin is that, and one of the main selling points of Bitcoin Cash, which I still say that Bitcoin Cash is a tumor. If you want a fast cryptocurrency, just use Litecoin or Vertcoin, even Ethereum to some degree. But so one of the big points of Bitcoin Cash is that it has low fees and faster transfers than Bitcoin. So for me to send approximately $714 or $15 in Bitcoin for the tax and shipping and whatnot, It cost me like a $30 network fee, and that's twice. So I paid about $60 in network fees just to buy these two cards, because my Bitcoin was a little tied up at the time, and I'm actually a little glad that I got rid of the Bitcoin in time, because now Bitcoin is down to, I think the last time I checked, about $13,000. So it's getting very, very low, and so I got rid of it in time earlier today. However, that $60 is a lot. So now if they send that back to me twice, in those two separate transactions, that's going to be another $60. And then if I really want to buy them again with Bitcoin, which I wouldn't do, it'd be another two transactions, another $60. So I told them I basically refuse the refund, and I just want gift cards, and that's what they do in that case. So I'm waiting on that. So if you're going to go onto Newegg and you're going to buy with Bitcoin, really ensure that you're buying a product that doesn't have a free product that comes with it. So like say you buy, like say in my case, you go to buy a graphics card and it has a free $60 game. For some reason in their system, it is not set up that you're just going to pay for that card and it's just going to take that price away. For some reason, they want you to pay for that card. And if you did pay for that card, that would mean that you overpaid by about $30 or so when it comes to the network fees and the transactions. So you paid, you overpay for the card if you do that. And then that would mean that Newegg has to refund you either Bitcoin or a gift card. A gift card wouldn't be too bad, but if they refunded you Bitcoin, it'd cost you like some $30 in network fees, and that's one of the main downfalls of Bitcoin. So really, Bitcoin is not used as a daily transaction, not used as a daily money sort of thing. It's really merely a store of wealth at the moment, and I do fear in the future that Bitcoin will be overtaken if it does not add Lightning networks, or everybody adds SegWit or something like that. I know there are downfalls to adding SegWit and Lightning networks, and so it does kill some of the decentralization when you add SegWit for faster, lower fee transactions, because then that actually has to make the nodes bigger, which eventually will only be able to be on big servers. Because if you add SegWit, it makes the it makes the blocks a lot bigger, and eventually only servers would be able to really keep up with a node, and then that ruins the whole decentralization. That ruins the fact that you can run a node, a Bitcoin node, on your computer and verify transactions all around the world, and help be a part of what makes Bitcoin Bitcoin. So I understand there are many trade-offs with Bitcoin, left and right. You know, if you go one way, you're going to sacrifice one thing. If you go the other way, you're going to sacrifice the other thing. So it's really a trade-off. But at the moment, I just don't feel that Bitcoin. I think it's going to last a little while. I think like once Wall Street kind of gets into it, and some major even more so major exchanges get into it. Of course, it's going to go a bit bigger. Where it's going to go, I don't really know. But I think sooner or later, Bitcoin will die. Maybe not die completely, but it's going to get rocked sooner or later. It kind of is already happening, in the sense that Litecoin is just so much easier to use as a transaction. And I don't mean just Litecoin. Of course, you could use Monocoin or Vertcoin or Dash, whatever you want. But right now, Bitcoin is completely unusable. I read a story on Reddit. Some guy went into a bar and had $20 worth of drinks, and he wanted to pay in Bitcoin. So he asked the bartender. He says, "Can I pay in Bitcoin?" He says, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And when he goes to pay in Bitcoin, it turns out to be $50. So there's $30 in fees for a $20 drinking night. And so when he said, "Well, just give me that back, I'll just pay with a credit card," you can't really do that. And so it turned into a couple-hour ordeal for him to get his coin back, or for him to pay in the coin, because he says that when he goes to pay in the coin, it's not going to verify for 2 hours. And so the bartender's like, "Well, we don't have that time. It's late. We don't have 2 hours to sit around and verify a transaction." Whereas if he would have did that with Litecoin, the fee would be maybe a couple dollars, pretty low comparatively, and it would be verified much faster as well. So there are some downfalls to Bitcoin. So I'm kind of actually glad that I got rid of my Bitcoin. So I'm actually going to be mining a lot more. I'm going to start mining a little bit more. Of course, I'm going to be trading as well. I'm going to be trading back and forth because that's a great way to make money. It really is. But if you want to use Bitcoin, it's a lot harder than it initially sounds. The fees are outrageous, unbelievable. And that's especially hard particularly hard for example, in Venezuela. The government's in a bit of turmoil right now. There's huge inflation, and so their money is worth virtually nothing. There's too much inflation, so they're all going to Bitcoin and various altcoins. So if they had Bitcoin in Venezuela, and then you want to buy your groceries with it, and you have to pay $30 in transaction fees, 30 American dollars, in terms of Venezuelan dollars, is huge. So it's simply unusable. And when they say that it's unusable, it's true. And Bitcoin Cash shills will tell you that Bitcoin is unusable, and they're not wrong when they say that. So I don't really like Bitcoin Cash because I think it's just sort of a tumor. It's caused way too many crashes and dips. It's caused way too much drama. Roger Ver is really just a big tool. He's a big human tool, and nobody really likes Roger Ver. I can't say that I've ever met a person that likes Roger Ver, but I'm sure his $1 million bank account doesn't care. So in the same way that, if you don't like a celebrity, well, he just flashes his $40 million bank account and says, this is how much I care with my $40 million. Like, I don't care what your opinion is about me because I'm a millionaire, so what does it matter? So hopefully you guys take that into consideration and maybe start trading Litecoin a little bit more, or Vertcoin, or even Monacoin. Of course there's Dash, and Ethereum is okay too, but even the Ethereum fees are starting to get a little bit high. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to make just a short little news video on some Bitcoin, and just wanted to tell you guys why everything's kind of crashing. Is that there's a lot of uncertainty right now, and with Bitcoin Cash going on to Coinbase, which is easily the biggest exchange, it's huge compared to everybody else. There's tens of thousands of new signups every day from just regular old people wanting to get into cryptocurrency, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that it popped up out of nowhere. It was scheduled for January 1st. And so that means that everybody is preparing for January 1st. So there might be like, hey, I got a few extra days before I can buy some Bitcoin Cash, before it goes on to GDAX, before I can, make some profit with that. But then it just appears, poof, out of nowhere, and with no warning, no tweet, no email, nothing. And then they shut down selling so that it just jacks up the price. So there was huge insider trading. There has to be, it's somewhere there was insider trading one way or another, and so that is definitely not good. So then when everybody sees, and just imagine if you're really new to the Bitcoin cryptocurrency world, and you see Bitcoin Cash pop up. Let's actually look at it on GDAX. I wonder if it's normal looking right now. The GDAX has had a lot of odd issues here. Oops. Yeah, right now it's a little messed up looking, but so when it first came out, it was just rising. It was huge. I wonder if we can go just an hour back, or 6 hours here, and it was huge. Look how high it got, $9,524. So that means somebody somewhere paid $9,524 for Bitcoin Cash, something that's not even really worth $2,400 if you ask me. It's not even worth that. I'd say maybe $400 per coin. It should be worth $500. So it's worth nothing, nowhere near $9,500. And so that is where Coinbase, this is exactly why Coinbase is in a little bit of hot water right now. And everybody's seen this going up. And at first it was really, really low. So when it first was put onto GDAX, it was at $3,000. So when people see this, BCH, they think there's a great deal. They think maybe Bitcoin, maybe they think that was Bitcoin. And they see Bitcoin at $3,000 when it first came out. Now, if Bitcoin fell down to $3,000, there would be a buying frenzy, and it would just go right back up. It wouldn't be able to go down any lower because it would be bought up well before it reached 3,000. So a ton of newbies, if you will, bought into Bitcoin Cash thinking that it may have been Bitcoin, thinking they maybe could make a quick buck, and they bought it all the way up because it came out of nowhere. There was no warning. So that is the reason. So if you're wondering why all the cryptocurrencies are way, way, way down, look, 25%, 22%, 25, 20. So that's the reason why. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more action, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time.